It took me a little longer than I originally planned, but that's okay. That's just how life goes sometimes. Hi, I'm Megan, and welcome back to Organizing What Matters. We had a little delay there at the beginning of this mini-series. Life happens sometimes. Now, what happened in life this time is not anything normal, but we are figuring it out. We're taking it day by day. It feels a little bit better every day. A little bit of healing comes every day. But you know, life goes on. It's interesting. One of the things that my son has said in the aftermath of our experience at the Charlie Kirk event is how weird it feels that life just keeps going. And I so know what he means. Anytime that something so life-altering happens, the only other time that I've experienced something like this is when a loved one has passed away. There's this period of time where it just feels like the world stops, or it feels like it should stop. It feels like time just kind of becomes a blur, and it's really weird that everyone else's lives just keep going around you. It really feels like in the movies when those moments where the main character is like paused in place and then everything behind it is just blurry and in like a time lapse. That's really how it feels. And I think that he described it really well. But it's feeling more and more normal every day. And sometimes it helps, I think, to keep yourself busy. Otherwise, I easily could just crawl in bed and watch Netflix and eat ice cream all the time, because that's kind of what I feel like doing. But we keep going. We keep working hard, keep doing good things. And one of the things that I've been focusing on lately, which really seems like a tiny thing in the grand scheme of things, but I am working on organizing and decluttering my entire house. So week 1 was the first half of the kitchen. I did all of my cabinets and drawers, pulled everything out, wiped them all down, decluttered and got rid of anything that was broken or that we didn't use. And then week 2, I've been focusing on the pantries. I have 2 pantries and the appliances. I was able to do it in 3 days this week. I took 1 day to do my fridge because, cleaning out your fridge feels like a chore because it is a big chore. And then I did 1 day on one of my pantries, and then the last day I spent on my other pantry and then cleaning all the appliances. So let's get right to it.
Okay, it is week 2 and I am still in the kitchen, have a few things to finish up there. Of course, I started the day with getting everything clean, doing the dishes, wiping the counters. My good friend and neighbor brought me these flowers for my birthday last week, but they were kind of dying. So I decided to get some new flowers from my yard and refill the vase because I just loved having these flowers on my counter all week. This week, I am focusing on the appliances in the pantries, and today, day 1, I'm doing the fridge. So I started by pulling everything out and cleaning all the shelves. You know, I actually am pretty low on food right now. I really need to go grocery shopping, but it's the perfect time to clean out the fridge when it's pretty empty. I pulled everything out, wiped it down. I had lots of leftovers in the fridge that I need to get rid of. I don't know why I keep them in the fridge for so long, because nobody in my family even likes eating leftovers. So I just got rid of all of those, washed the dishes, put them back in there, and now I'm just going through the rest of the fridge. Now I'm into the freezer, took everything out and cleaned it all out. It's kind of hard wiping out the freezer because the cleaner just freezes while I'm wiping it. But it definitely needed to be cleaned, and I needed to pull everything out because things just kind of get lost in the freezer. I put things in there and then I kind of forget it's there, and it just starts filling up. So there were definitely things that needed to be pulled out and thrown out. Okay, day 2. As always, I get started by cleaning up the kitchen. Today, I was multitasking by making lunch for me and my husband at the same time as doing dishes. So I've got quesadillas going on the grill. I'm doing my dishes. I'm drinking my Red Bull. I'm watching Downton Abbey. So lots of things going on. Did apples and quesadillas for lunch. Then after that, I started on our first pantry. This pantry has snacks, chips, bread, sandwich making things, cereal. We've got our bulk flour and sugar. Most of the work that I did here was combining things, getting rid of empty boxes, wiped down all the shelves, swept the floor of the pantry, just gave it a really good clean. This pantry is one of the most used parts of our kitchen. Day 3, finishing up the kitchen today. Today we have the other pantry and then the appliances, and that's going to finish off my work in the kitchen and week 2. You know the drill by now. I start the day off by getting the kitchen cleaned, emptied the dishwasher, cleaned out the sink that was full of dishes, and wiped off the counters, just got everything ready. I knew I was going to be using the counter today because this pantry that I'm working in is full of canned goods, and I was going to pull all of it out. So here I am over on the side, pulling everything out, all the pastas, rice, beans, all the canned goods. And the shelves are pretty deep back here, so I had a lot that were towards the back that had been expired. So I took all of those out and threw them out. Then wiped down all of the shelves in there and then put everything back. I tried to sort everything by food type. So on the bottom, I have pastas and rice and macaroni and cheese boxes. The next shelf, I have all the different beans, chili, black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, white beans, refried beans, all of that stuff. Next shelf, I have all my pasta sauces, Parmesan cheese, chicken broth, pretty much anything that I use to make sauces. And then on the top shelf, I put everything else. Later in the night, I worked on these top shelves where I keep all of my extra cleaning supplies. And on the very, very top shelf, I have extra paper goods. I do have a lot of paper goods in the island, but this very top shelf is where I try and store like bulk paper good items. So I got myself all the way up there, got it wiped down, organized everything, and it felt really nice to get it all cleaned out. It is amazing to me how much less full the pantry feels when everything is neat and organized. And then the bottom is where I have my broom and my mop and my large bulk cleaning supplies. So I pulled all that out, swept it all out, wiped the door, put everything back, and now my pantry is nice and clean. Then onto the appliances. My appliances were actually in pretty good shape, so it wasn't a lot of work. Just wiped everything down, my ovens, my microwave, my stovetop, really just cleaned that stainless steel with a stainless steel cleaner so it was nice and shiny and clean, and it looked really, really nice. I wiped these on a regular basis, so it wasn't really hard to get it cleaned. There was a little bit of food that I had to scrape off that stove, but not too bad. Took everything off the fridge, gave it a really good wipe down, got all those fingerprints and all of my little granddaughter's fingerprints off the bottom, wiped off the dishwasher, and of course more dishes that needed to be unloaded. So I went ahead and did that because I wanted to clean the inside of my dishwasher tonight too. This is one of those things that I intend to do on a regular basis, but it really doesn't happen as much as I want. So I use this Lemmy Shine dishwasher cleaner. I just follow the directions on the box, and then I have another cleaner for the disposal. Again, follow directions on the box, and that is it. After 3 days, week 2 is done.
A couple things I learned this week. Number 1, it really helps to have a plan, because in those days where you feel like you don't want to do anything or you're having a really hard time being motivated to be productive, having a plan, and in this case, having a deadline, because I wanted to get it done by the end of the week so that I could make a video. So in this case, having a deadline and having a plan was super helpful because it got me off my butt and got me working on my project. So that would be my tip number 1, having a plan and having a schedule. The second thing that I learned, my second tip for you after my experience, feels kind of contradictory to that, because at the same time, having a plan and having a schedule is really, really good and important. At the same time, you need to have grace and patience with yourself. We had a horrific trauma that we experienced this week, and it was very appropriate for me to put everything on hold. So 2 things that seem very opposite but are actually very complementary and true. Number 1, make a plan, have a schedule. That will help you stay on track and stay focused and get yourself off your butt when you need a little kick in the pants. Number 2, give yourself grace and patience when life happens, especially when really hard things happen. We are human after all, and in the grand scheme of things, having a clean, organized kitchen is not the most important thing. It's a good thing, but it's not the most important thing. Next week, we're gonna hit the landing zones. I hope that I can actually get that done in just 1 week, because those are like the most cluttered, most disorganized areas of my house. It's not a lot of space. I have like 1 shoe closet, and then we have like the table and the desk here in the kitchen that accumulate a lot of stuff. And I'll probably tackle my back hallway too, which is kind of like a mudroom area where we also like to shove things out of the way when people come over. So it's not a large space, but it gets the most traffic and has just a lot of stuff. So hopefully I can get it done in 1 week. That's my plan. Again, that's my plan, but I'm gonna go into it with grace and patience. And it's better to get things done than for it to be perfect, right? Something is better than nothing, done is better than perfect. So I'm just gonna keep plugging away, doing the best that I can, and I'm gonna take you along with me for the ride. Thanks for being here. I'll see you again next week.
Thanks for watching and making time with me to capture the moments that matter. If you liked this video, think about subscribing and joining me next time.